when I think about the Kodak Black and Tekashi 69's new song, my whole thing, right? The way I look at it, I mean, it's business at the end of the day, right? You know what I mean? It's definitely business at the end of the day for the fact that Tekashi 69, I mean, even though he's labeled a snitch or whatever y'all want to say today, right? In today's world, I mean, Tekashi 69, I mean, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue for the fact that you got, the rapper Gunna out here, you know. I'll call him Mr. Yes Ma'am. Yes Ma'am. You got Gunna out here doing his thing. I like his album. You got Tekashi 69, where he came out, said that he was working directly with the federal, with the feds. And you got Kodak Black, which is considered, to most people, considered to be, a street rapper, right? He had some type of street code or street ethic about himself. Would he represent from Florida and all that? But my question is, right? All these different people have a lot of opinions to say about Kodak Black because he's supposed to be a street rapper, right? Have you ever paid attention or have you ever gave this a consideration to the fact with Kodak Black is that he's of today's street rappers in the sense of snitching is not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Snitching, for rap artists and so-called street dudes or street entities or whatever they want to call themselves today, right? Whatever they call themselves today, what's the problem? I mean, I'm not advocating any type of violence or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, what's the consequence of snitching and going about your life? Continue doing records and possibly going on different tours and, linking up with other successful artists. What's the problem? I mean, one thing I can say, me being an older gentleman, right? You know what I'm saying? I consider myself an older gentleman, an OG, older gentleman, OG. Follow me, huh? And my thing is, right? I know for my age bracket, we come from a different world in the sense of when you think of street mentality. Now, even though I am not a street individual, I still have an understanding of what it is. You know what I mean? To a degree. And it's like, of today's rapper, right? Of today's artist, I don't see that code being the same. Because what is the consequences? You know what I'm saying? Like people want to have an issue with Kodak Black, and I seen the rapper Bootsy having something to say, because of his background. You can Google him if you're not familiar with Bootsy, and I just see all this uproar to a degree of other folks having something to say about Kodak Black, and at the end of the day, for me personally, I mean, looking at today's wave and who said what and who snitched on this and who recorded this conversation and released it to the public. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, hey man, I mean for me personally, like I said, I'm a civilian. If I like the music, I like the music regardless if they're a real street individual or not. You know what I mean? And I know, for me, it's like watching my favorite movie or watching some movies where it's a shoot 'em up bang bang movie. I don't expect those actors to really live out that life. Now I understand in hip hop or rap or whatever you want to call today's genre of rap today, right? My thing is this, right? In today's era, when it comes to your street rappers of today, snitching is part of the pedigree. Snitching is accepted. All you have to do is come out and say, "Oh man, I was tricked, man. I was tricked. I didn't, I didn't know." Like in Gunna's situation, he said he was tricked on the song, you know, uh, "Bread and Butter." He said he was tricked. You know what I'm saying? He was tricked. He didn't know that, you know, his lawyer somehow didn't tell him, or however they set up his paperwork. He said he was tricked, and he didn't snitch. So looking at that situation, what's the difference with Tekashi 69? To me, the difference with Tekashi 69 is that he told you what he did. He wasn't hiding behind that, saying, "Oh man, I was on the stand doing yes ma'am," and then I'm gonna come out and say I didn't know what that was. So with Tekashi 69, he came out and told you directly what he did. And now he got the rat emoji all through his videos and different things that he would have done. And he still got a major collaboration with Nicki Minaj after the fact. So, of today's standards, of today's rappers, I don't see a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is today's generation, man. Snitching is part of the process, huh? You know what I mean? It's like it's accepted. So why be mad now? You know what I mean? Why is it such an issue now? You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it such a big issue? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really be honest about this situation. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be no issue. It shouldn't be no issue. All this should be accepted. Because, like I said, of today's standards, snitching is part of the program. Snitching is part of the process of being a rapper today, huh? Do you feel me? I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? Don't look at me. Don't come at me sideways, man. This is today's era of hip hop, huh? And all you have to say is, man, I got the bag. Like Kodak Black. I mean, he snapped on that song. You know what I'm saying? He was kicking his feet doing his 1-2. And he said he got a meal for it, if I'm not mistaken, in the verse. That. So if the paper right, hey, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem? That's what it is now, huh? Like, so why is it such a big issue? You feel me? It's like I don't get it, man. Today's era is like I said, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? And like, hey, and I bet you give it a couple of weeks, or you know what I'm saying, in a month or two, that's probably gonna be that new hot, that mix. They're gonna be mixing it all the DJs. You know what I mean? You're gonna have Funk Flex, you're gonna have all these different, radio outlets, they're gonna be playing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But at least the radio stations that still play, that kind of music, I bet you it's gonna get some spins, huh? So what's the problem, man? This is today's era. Today's era is snitching is part of the process, huh? You know what I'm saying? That's part of the process. So what's the issue? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I mean, shoot. I mean, Kodak Black told you, man, he got a check for this. So what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? He got a check for this, and it ain't no issue. So why is there a problem? He out here getting his money, man. He's just trying to live one time. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? He out there trying to get his check. He got paid. He about to shoot a video. I'm pretty sure a video about to drop. You're going to have all the baddies in the video. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you this, I mean, I like a lot of Kodak Black music. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite is Tunnel Vision and Jesus Piece. You don't believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus piece? Him and XXXTentacion, they had a song a while ago, well, a few years back now. But Tekashi 69, his raps for me, it's okay. But I do like a lot of Kodak Black stuff though. You know what I mean? And on that song they have together, Kodak Black did his thing. You know what I'm saying? He got on the mic and did his 1 2. I even seen a little clip of Whack 100 said he the one that put the play together, for them to link up and do a song. And what was said by Whack 100 is he said that when Kodak Black came to the studio, he basically told him to do what he do and walked out. You know what I'm saying? So for him to come up with that, and he made a few references about snitching on his verse. I mean, hey man, at least he snapped on it. He did his 1 2. You know what I'm saying? So he was on there snapping. I give him that much for Kodak Black wise is what I'm saying. But just that mentality, that street code ethic, whatever, man, that's a dinosaur. It's a dying breed out here, man. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's why I always talk about understanding your position and move accordingly. And it's like that old school way of thinking. It's pretty much dying with the people who are from that old school, from that era. I will say this: rappers like Bootsy, what he stands for, I respect him for what he stand on. I respect him for that. But at the same time, with older rappers compared to the young rappers, what the older rappers have to understand is that old school mindset and way of thinking and snitch this, we don't snitch and doing that. Y'all gonna have to come to an understanding where this is the new wave, bruh. This is the reality of today's rapper. I'm not saying if you're an older rapper, you of today because you came in the game in a different era, you know. But today's rapper that's coming up in the game, snitching is part of the process based on current, events and recent events where nobody really cares if the album is snapping. You know what I'm saying? If they got the catchy hook, got that single, he got something on that album, or she got something on that album where it's just undeniable type material, songs wise. Nobody is going to complain about, oh, you snitch, you snitch. You know what I'm saying? Because I think back on the Gunna situation, with Young Thug, everybody was saying how, oh man, the streets not going to support Gunna. But soon as he dropped the album and he had them singles, it just bubbled and snowballed into what it is now. But the streets didn't stop nothing when it came to Gunna. So all of a sudden the streets and people from the streets got an issue like they're gonna stop the bag, like they're gonna stop the situation. Come on now. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't finna stop nothing. And like Kodak Black said, man, he got a meal ticket, man. He got a meal ticket. So how y'all gonna stop that? You know what I mean? Like I don't get it, man. It's like I said, that old school mentality, street code ethic. It's like a dinosaur out here, man. It's going extinct, and nobody does it anymore, man. Not of today's rappers. You know what I'm saying? Not of recent rappers of today. You know what I'm saying? What the wave is now. No. You know what I mean? It's not happening. Today's rapper, they doing whatever it takes, huh? Or a street dude or a street individual. Not just rappers, because I don't want to put this all on rappers. But in today's world and how people treat the streets, and like I said, it's okay for you to snitch on this person if they did this to you, but if it's not okay to do it for that person because they didn't do this. So my advice is that if you can't do the time, you do not want to get behind those bars, then don't do the crime, man. Because the reality is, especially like I said, if To all my subscribers, you know what it is. But I've been giving y'all sauce all through these videos. I gave you a video 1 and 2 of digital reputation, where I go into letting you know that that street way of thinking, that mentality is pretty much dead out here in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? Except for the few, people that come up in that era or have that understanding of that era, where they will try to uphold it to a degree. But I gotta say, man, that era, that mentality, and it's a dying breed out here, man. I call it a dinosaur. You're not completely extinct, but you're on the brinks of being extinct when it comes to the street code and ethic and honor and all that. It's a dying breed out here, man. So don't be surprised one day you be the only one in the room that still have that same standard of yesterday. And today, all they gonna do is stand in front of that judge and say, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. YSL is a gang? Yes, ma'am." Do you feel me? I'm just saying, man. That's the way. You know what I'm saying? I just spilled some on my keyboard. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I just soak it up. Dang. Yeah, hopefully it don't mess up my laptop. Man, I just spilled some drink right on my dang laptop. Oh my goodness, man. All right. You know? So that street mentality, that street code ethic understanding, I gotta say, I gotta say, you're gonna be the only person standing up there like Bootsy, still trying to hold on to it, right? And don't get me wrong. I know it's still some folks out there that still believe in that, but overall, in general, I am speaking. It's a dying breed out here, man. Because just think about it, in the next 10 years, next 20 years, what type of street dude you gonna have then? I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's a dying breed out here, man. You know? So to all my OGs out there, when you still holding on to this code, this ethic like Bootsy, you're gonna be the only one upholding that code. Cause in today's rap world and today's streets politics, from what I see that's out here on the internet, everybody gonna be saying, "Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. YSL a gang? Yes, ma'am." Do you feel? I'm just saying, man. So it's like you look at Gunna's situation. His album drop. It's the hottest thing in the market right now, right? Ain't nobody complaining about the yes ma'am, what he was saying in court, right? That's not a conversation anymore. They talking about the new single. They talking about, how many record sales he has done so far and estimated to continue doing. So what is that telling you? Even though Young Thug is still fighting for his life in court right now. Even though Young Thug has put out little clips on his new album, kind of referencing certain situations. But it looked like Young Thug is not getting out of prison. And you think these youngsters out here, these younger rappers or people that's inspired to do hip hop or do music or whatever is looking at Young Thug situation and they looking at Gunna situation, which one you think they would rather be? Which one would a new upcoming rapper would rather be? Would they rather be Young Thug, looking possibly at life in prison, or you can be like Gunna, where you say yes, ma'am, you walk out of court and get a girl, with a fresh BBL. You know what I'm saying? You got your, you know what I'm saying? You got your thick Alicia lady waiting on you when you walking out of court, hopping in the foreign whip, shooting videos talking about, oh man, the lawyer finessed me. I would never. So, like I said again, who would you rather be if you a young upcoming artist right now? You look at the YSL situation. Who would you rather be today, Young Thug or Gunna? I'll wait. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. That's the reality. That's the understanding. I guarantee you what most upcoming artists of today is looking at. Like, I'd rather be Gunna. Because look who's free, has the opportunity to make even more money. And all he had to do was say, yes, ma'am. So a lot of folks is mad at Kodak Black, but what did you expect him to do? Huh? I thought today's era was it's all about that bag, get that bag. Well, they had a bag for Kodak Black. And based on what he said he got a meal in the song. So not only he working with the so-called snitch Tekashi69, he also dropped off a heavy bag to him. So what's the problem? You know, me personally, I just feel like I said this a few videos back. I just personally feel like the reality of all this is really showing what today's artist, today's individual, all that old school stuff. Like I said, I'm in my 40s. All that old school mentality thinking is dying off. Not only that old school way of thinking is dying off, the new generation is looking at things totally different than when I was their age, which rightfully so, because technology wasn't at the level as it is today back then. The access, the access of being able to make large quantities of money wasn't as fruitful, I should say, as it is today compared to yesterday. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a regular job or a good job to make good money. You can be a content creator, a rapper, or engineer. I mean, there's so many different levels and ways you can make it, you know? So that old school mentality to me is a dying breed. It is. That's my opinion about that because why would they want to go through the pain or the struggle that the yesterday individual had compared to today, where they can easily get on their iPhone, they can easily go to Instagram, YouTube, and if they're good at what they do, they can make millions of dollars right off of their iPhone. But yet, you want them to hold some type of street code, street ethic for what? For what? I mean, it sounds hot, but when you looking at them 10, 20, 15, 100 years, how real are you then? You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about that. And I bet you, right? Thinking about the YSL situation, I bet Young Thug wished he would have chose a different path today. All that stick talk and riding around with this and doing that. You know, they just denied, I want to say this is his fourth bond hearing. Uh Young Thug. Young Thug just had his fourth bond hearing and they denied him because they have so many people have been complaining where if Young Thug get house arrest, their life is in danger. Why would they have that thought? I'll wait. You know, like really think about that, right? You know, I seen a clip earlier and they were saying that the judge was like, seemed like he was sort of trying to grant him, house arrest, but then he started, or prior to that, he was getting either emails or somebody was calling him or however it went. He got information. I believe from the attorney, was saying how some of the witness felt like their life would be in great danger if he was put on parole. You know? So again, I ask you, who would you rather be? Would you rather be the real individual and be Young Thug facing I don't know how many years he's looking at? Or you can come over here and say, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And you walk out of court, get you a chick with a fresh BBL, you hopping in a foreign whip. Now you get to be in the studio working on all the different songs that you want to do, and you're a free man. How does that feel? Do you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I live in reality, man. This is a reality check. You know, I'm just saying, really think about that. You know what I mean? And it's like, right? And then after all that, you want Kodak Black to have some type of street code for what? Because it's like, what's the point? What's the point of honoring that street code in today's generation, in today's world? What's the benefit? Or better yet, what's the consequences of doing that act? Huh? You know? And then I hear, if you a snitch, depending on who you snitching for, like the feds or whatever, they pay more than the average mediocre job, depending on the circumstance. So who would you rather be, huh? I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. I am Sean B. Stoll if you didn't know, huh? You know? Okay, we got a couple of people in the house. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. And hit that like button so we get more people in here. You know, you know. So I just think that with the Kodak Black situation, you got to get used. You have to get used to that type of situation because you're going to see it a whole lot more as time goes on. You know what I mean? And then another topic I want to talk about is the Tupac investigation. And I've seen a few people talking about it. You know, it may not be a hot topic, but as a Tupac fan, I just felt like it was a conversation I needed to have. So with Tupac, right? I know he's been passed away, what, over 30 years now? Wow. It's been that long? My goodness. You know? So with the Tupac passing, I mean, if you don't know about that, you must have been living under a rock. But use your Googles. You can find out who Tupac was if you're not familiar with him, right? But I'm hearing the case was reopened. And they actually raided Keefe D house. And if you're not familiar with Keefe D, he's the guy, out of his own words, he was in the car that Orlando Brown was in. That was supposed to be an alleged person who did the shooting based on, you know, what was said by Keefe D. So I feel like this, right? When it comes to Tupac, being a Tupac fan, I just felt like justice definitely need to be served. I mean, I have heard rumors, but nothing has came out officially to say that this person did it and all the stuff that goes along with it. So I just feel like I feel like with Tupac, right? They definitely need to resolve this case because it's been so many years. It has been so much time has went by, but justice still need to be served because you got somebody out there, Keefe D, where you give you all this great detail about how they did this and how they did that, right? And based on what he said, you know, he didn't do it, but you know. So I just want to say, rest in peace to Tupac. You know. I wonder what's your favorite Tupac song? If you're a Tupac fan, I would like to know that. Because with Pac, the way he started his album, especially the double album, the All Eyes on Me, that's still a great CD to this day. But we'll see. I mean, they haven't came out and said, how it's breaking down, but we will see. you know. Oh, you know what? And also bring up the AI. Man, did anybody hear that AI song of Tupac and Nate Dogg? My goodness. I mean, they mastered their voice. I remember a few months back, the way they was syncing the voice, it wasn't matching up that well. But now it is. So they got a new Tupac song out there with Nate Dogg on there, which is kind of creepy because they both passed away. So it's like, dang. But anyway, yep, Tupac has a new record out there, fresh off the AI. You know what I mean? So he got a new song out there. And I just feel like I don't know about this AI thing, you know? You know? So we'll see. So just a little something I want to chop up with tonight. I'm gonna come back in the morning, but I just want to come on here tonight and just have a quick conversation about it because it was needed. And you know, with the whole thing of it, I look at it like this, right? When it comes to Kodak Black and Tekashi 69, right? I just personally feel like the streets don't matter anymore. I mean, it do to a degree, but after that degree is over with, they back doing it again. So with today's climate of today's rapper and how it's okay to do this and okay to do that, that's the wave that pretty much all these new rappers are on to a degree, and these street dudes, because they so accepting of the snitches. So don't get mad for Kodak Black for what he's doing, when if they offered you the same $1 million, you would do the same. So with me, with my channel, I always offer you my opinion, but I also, the way I conduct myself, I try to have integrity. I try to have accountability and be respectful to a degree. Unless you disrespect, then that's a different thing. So, something I want to leave y'all with tonight. I'm going to come back early morning, drop another live video. So, stay tuned. This next week coming up, I'm dropping a whole lot more videos, a lot more content coming. So, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And hit the little bell so you can get the notifications. So when I drop this good game on you, man, you get the alerts and be well aware and come tap in with me. So I want to thank you for tuning in to Sean B. Stoller Show here. This was a reality check video. Till next time, peace.